Star Trek, Khan is now deep into the undiscovered country regarding what happened to Khan Noonien Singh, Naveen Andrews, and his augment followers between Star Trek, the original series, and Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. 6 months have passed since Captain James T. Kirk, William Shatner, and the USS Enterprise marooned Khan and his people, as well as Lieutenant Marla McGivers, Ren Schmidt, on Ceti Alpha V. The neighboring Ceti Alpha 6 exploded in Star Trek, Khan Episode 5, Imagination's Limits, dooming the augments in a cataclysm. However, Star Trek, Khan Episode 5 introduced a new and shocking twist. An alien race with psychic powers called the Elborians crash-landed on Ceti Alpha V when their starship was damaged by Ceti Alpha Vi's destruction. Khan made first contact with an Elborian named Delmonda, who told the genetically engineered warlord where to find water underground to save his people. Star Trek, Khan Episode 6 introduces even more twists to the heretofore unrevealed story of what really happened to Khan during his exile on Ceti Alpha V. Khan could have left Ceti Alpha V thanks to new aliens. Star Trek, Khan Episode 6 ends with the revelation that Delmonda and the Elborians are attempting to construct a starship that could rescue Khan and the augments from Ceti Alpha V's global calamity in 2267 or 2268. Yet we know from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, that Khan, Ricardo Montalban, remains on Ceti Alpha V with at least some of his followers who survived the desolation of the planet and lethal attacks from the Ceti eels. Complicating Khan's plight is that Ivan, one of his followers, killed an Elborian out of mistrust, as Khan initially planned to go to war with the aliens. Ivan and Khan's other followers fear the Elborian psychic powers, which they have no defense against, despite their genetically engineered abilities. Star Trek, Khan's remaining 3 episodes will answer whether the Elborians ever built this starship for Khan, whether the aliens escape on their own vessel, or they die on Ceti Alpha V, either from natural disasters or because the augments decide to wage war with them anyway. A great tragedy would be if Khan is given the means by the Elborians to flee Ceti Alpha V and save his people, but he reverts to his worst instincts and provokes violence that ultimately dooms the augments and his pregnant wife, Marla McGivers. Dr. Rosalind Lear could have a secret. Is she Khan and Marla's child? Star Trek, Khan Episode 6 also intensifies the intrigue aboard the USS Excelsior in 2293 during the narrative podcast's framing sequences. Captain Hikaru Sulu, George Takei, ordered Ensign Tuvok, Tim Russ, to monitor Dr. Rosalind Lear's, Sonia Cassidy, investigation into Khan. Sulu's concern about Lear's work raises some interesting questions about the historian's interest in Khan. Dr. Lear is bordering on obsession, which hints that her search for the truth about Khan is deeply personal. Star Trek, Khan now posits fascinating potential twists about Dr. Lear. Either she is related to Khan, or she is related to Marla, or both. Rosalind is their child who survived Ceti Alpha V. We know that Khan remains on Ceti Alpha V, but Marla is killed by a Ceti eel, according to Khan himself in Star Trek II. But if the Elborians were constructing a starship for Khan, and if the aliens escaped, perhaps Marla gives birth to her child with Khan, and they give the baby to the Elborians to be rescued. Is Dr. Rosalind Lear really the half-human, half-augment secret child of Khan Noonien Singh and Marla McGivers? If Lear was born in 2268, she would be 25 in 2293. Could Lear, a historian, have followed in Marla's footsteps and seeks to redeem Khan's reputation? Why Captain Sulu could be protecting Captain Kirk? More intrigue aboard the USS Excelsior involves Captain Sulu's suspicions about Dr. Rosalind Lear, which is partly born from the animosity Lear has towards Captain James T. Kirk. Lear regards Kirk as the villain in Khan's story, not the other way around. Captain Sulu gave Dr. Lear the scans Commander Spock, Leonard Nimoy, and the USS Enterprise took of the Ceti Alpha system before sending Khan to Ceti Alpha V. Spock's scans showed Ceti Alpha 6 had an unstable core, but wasn't in imminent threat of destruction, yet the planet blew up anyway. Of course, Captain Sulu is loyal to Captain Kirk after decades of serving as helmsman aboard the Starship Enterprise. Sulu sees Khan as the villain that history records the genetically engineered warlord to be, but Dr. Lear seems intent on rewriting that history. Notably, Sulu wasn't in Star Trek, the original series, Space Seed, so he wasn't present when Khan attempted to hijack the USS Enterprise and kill Captain Kirk. But Sulu was helmsman during Star Trek II and survived Khan's brutal revenge, which led to the death of Captain Spock. Understandably, Captain Sulu sees Khan as a villain and will defend the reputation of Captain Kirk, who is believed to be dead in 2293. It makes sense that Lear would want to tear Kirk down if she is actually the scion of Khan, but Sulu actually knew Kirk and his true nature, yet there is a missing element to Star Trek, Khan's story, specifically why Ceti Alpha 6 exploded. It's possible Captain Sulu has knowledge about this secret that he is forced to keep hidden as a Starfleet captain who once served aboard Captain Kirk's USS Enterprise.